I'm Stacy Taylor. I'm a third grade teacher at Pond Elementary, and I am going to be doing a guided reading group. This group is reading a story. We are doing the genre of fairy tales. It is called Rough Face Girl. It's level Q. This is out of the Benchmark series, which I've been field testing since this past November. So, all right, go ahead and get those glued down. Once everyone has that, we'll move on. All right, so today we are reading another fairy tale, and the one today is called Rough Face Girl. So what are some of the features of fairy tales that we talked about yesterday that we can expect to see in this book? And if you want to, you can look back to the page in the text that had those text features. And you remember what page that was? If you find it, go ahead and tell me. Page 3. So what are some of those text features that we're going to expect to see as we're reading Rough Face Girl? Blake.
The tale has a happy ending.
So yes, we should expect a happy ending to this story, which we may not get to the ending today, but we will finish tomorrow if we don't. Lindsay.
Often people appear or events happen 3 times.
Yeah, so sometimes you'll see things 3 times over and over again. Did that happen in that story yesterday, the Red Swan? Yeah, what did we see happen 3 times yesterday in the Red Swan, Tyree?
The voice kept on going to huts.
Yes, he would shoot that red swan with a magic arrow and go to the huts. That happened 3 times. What else? What other text features, Kyle?
The tale often features fantastic or magical creatures. Some animals and objects can talk.
You got it. Skylar?
The tale is a type of fantasy, often about royalty.
You got it. Anything else, Tyree?
One character is held by another.
Okay, so those are the features that we're going to be seeing in this book. We are also going to be looking specifically at story elements as we read this story. And we all know, just in our mini lesson, we've reviewed those story elements. So pay attention as you're reading this story to those characters, the setting, the plot, the problem, solution, and then at the end, we will put it all together to come up with a theme. So go ahead and open to Rough Face Girl. It's on page 7, and have your books flat on the table so I can see where you are, and if I stop by to listen to you read, I know what page you're on. Okay, so yesterday we learned that this story is going to be similar to Cinderella. Do you remember how we read that about this tale? So I want you to just really quickly take a look at the pictures and see if just from the pictures if you can make any connections. So you can flip through the story and see if you can make any connections to that story, Cinderella, just by looking at the pictures. Did you notice anything, Kyle? What did you notice?
That, like, it started out by like that, how Cinderella started, and that, and then that. So it like starts like bad, then it ends bad.
So you can see it starts bad. And what do you notice about the way she looked at the beginning?
She was her face looked like she had a whole bunch of cuts and scars on her,
And
or it was like raining, and those were like maybe little somethings, and then right there, she maybe something started, and then there, and then
by the end, what did you notice about the way she looked?
that she changed because I think she went to a city, so all of them like helped her maybe and stuff, and then maybe she just stopped there because she was very cold, she needed food, and then she kept going on a journey or something.
And did she change the way she looked by the end of the story?
Yeah.
Kind of like Cinderella? Okay. Lindsay?
I think this is just the beginning, but it looks like that she was actually royalty, but then it looks like someone else came in and kind of just like pushed her out of the way and sent her off on her own, and then she had to make clothes and find stuff on her own, and she didn't have like showers and stuff, but then she went to this village that will help her, and it always lived happily ever after. So.
Okay, good. So you guys are taking your background knowledge, what you already know about Cinderella, to compare it to this story. Now I'm going to give you some more information, and we're going to add to our thoughts. So you guys are actually sitting with a partner that I want you to turn and talk to. So it'll be Kyle and Lindsay, Skylar and Tyrese. I know you're going to talk across from each other, and you two are going to talk. But I'll be popping into each of your groups to listen to what you're saying. But I want you and your partner to now get some information from the story to connect it a little bit more to Cinderella. So I want you to read that first paragraph with your partner, and then let's talk about it. And you can just whisper read it to each other.
Hi, I'm Sarah Bugby. Welcome to our 4th grade classroom. I'm learning a lot about guided reading this year, and I've been doing it with my class since the beginning of this year and growing and evolving through the process. So I hope that you can use this as a learning tool as I continue to learn as well. All right, friends, how are we doing today? So today we are going to be learning more about fables. So remember on Friday we talked about fables are a special kind of fiction writing. So can anyone remember what's special about fables? Anyone remember? Yes?
Don't they teach a lesson?
They teach a lesson, right? So we're talking about the specific importance of fables and the lessons that they teach you. And does anyone remember the special word for lesson in a fable? The moral of the story, right? The moral of the story. And on Friday, after we were reading together, I kept thinking, where is the moral of the story? When we read the fable, where did the moral come? On the page. You can look in the book if you need to. At the end, it came at the end, and we talked about why does the moral of the story come at the end, and what were some of your ideas about that? You can look at your Post-its if you need to.
If the author wants you to guess before you read it to see if you're right, maybe?
Okay, so you want to read the story. They don't want to give it away, so maybe you think about it and then you read the moral. Yes?
If someone do something mean to you, you shouldn't do back what they did.
Okay, so the moral of the fable that we talked about was if you do bad things to other people, they might do bad things back to you, right? So today we're going to continue to talk about fables. And this time we're going to read a fable called The Crow and the Pitcher. So I want you to find The Crow and the Pitcher in your book. I liked how Karina was looking at the table of contents there. Kayla's looking at her table of contents. Good thing. The Crow and the Pitcher. Okay, so today as we read The Crow and the Pitcher, I have a special assignment for you, okay? As I was thinking on Friday, why is the moral at the end? And we kind of talked about that. Maybe the author wants you to think about the lesson we're supposed to learn before you read it. But I was thinking, what difference could it make if we read the moral of the story before we actually read the fable? And how might that help us to better understand the fable? So what you're going to do as we read today, you're going to whisper read out loud like we did on Friday. But you're going to, I have another little Post-it for you. After you read, you're going to answer this question on the Post-it, okay? And as we're reading, I want you to think about that moral of the story. Now, if you finish before your friends and you finish answering this question before your friends, what are some things that good readers do? Dariana?
You can close the book and think what you read.
You can close the book and think about what you read. And remember to be nice and loud so everyone at the table can hear you.
Look back.
You can look back in the story and in the text. Very good.
You can close the book, think about what you read, guess, and then go back and look.
Yeah, and think about if you can summarize in your head what happened in the story and then go back and look and see if you were correct and you remembered all the details, okay? So as we read today, I want you to think about what good readers do as you come to words you may not know, to look at the word. What does it look like? To look at the rest of the sentence. Like Dariana said, sometimes you read ahead and then you go back. And then also look at, is there any little parts of the word that maybe you know? Because we worked on Friday with word work, finding little words and using those to help us figure out what bigger words are, right? So you're going to whisper read out loud and I'm going to listen to you. So if I lean in, that's your cue to read a little bit louder, okay? And when you finish, what are you going to do?
Do this together.
You're going to answer the question on the Post-it and then we're going to discuss it together. Are you ready? Okay. Go ahead and get started when you're ready.
Hi, my name is Shannon Smith and I teach 5th grade at Stanton Elementary. In class the last few weeks, we have been working on making inferences and context clues. All right, so can you guys tell me how you think detectives solve crimes? Okay. What did you say? Okay.
Kind of have to spy, kind of.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so they may have to be spies as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Other ideas? All right, well, I have an article for you to read today, and it's a nonfiction passage. And the article is about a very specific way that detectives solve crimes and how they use this strategy to solve crimes. So I want you to read this article, and as you read it, I just want you to look for how the detectives are solving crimes.